This Bluetooth 3-axis accelerometer was first seen here on the channel in gadgets number 193 when I was unboxing an order of goodies from Martin Loren's HScope store. I stated at the time that this thing would deserve its own video, so here we are. As stated on their site here, they focus on attitude, inertia, position. They're not so big on vibration analysis, right? That's not their game. But we, automotive types, that would look at a 3-axis accelerometer for NVH use, we're very much interested in vibration analysis. And their supporting app for this 3-axis accelerometer demonstrates where their focus lies. Like this little cube here, which shows the orientation of the accelerometer in space, is really cute. But that's not vibration analysis. It even has a magnetic compass, also pretty cute, but not vibration analysis. The closest thing is the ability to graph the g-forces in all 3 axes on this accelerometer. That's a step in the right direction, but not quite enough. Also, notice how narrow this screen portion is, and no ability to pinch and zoom. All right. We need more concentration on vibration analysis capability. Enter HScope, which now supports this WIT Bluetooth 3-axis accelerometer. So now notice full page display of the g-forces in the 3-axis, ability to pinch and zoom, the ability to record a file, which the manufacturer app cannot do, the ability to save that file, the ability to share that file, all of which the manufacturer app cannot do. But that's not where the main power of HScope with an accelerometer lies. This is the time domain. It is amplitude over time. The power in vibration analysis is in the frequency domain. With its FFT module, fast Fourier transform. And now we're viewing the accelerometer in amplitude over frequency. Real men use FFT. So this is a test bed that I made for accelerometer testing. It's a pendulum that has freedom of movement. This disc here has intentional imbalance to it. I can control the speed of that. And I mounted that Bluetooth accelerometer at the base here. I made 2 of these, and I sent one to Martin, so that when he and I are collaborating on accelerometer-based projects, we both are using the same test equipment. So I'm here in Kapuskasing, Ontario, Canada. Martin is out there in Shanghai, China, and we're able to use the same data. So here's what it looks like in the time domain, which like most people are familiar with. Let's take this up to the next level. And we can see a peak right here at 10 Hertz. Simple math. 10 cycles per second times 60 is 600 RPM if it was a wheel, for instance. So like this is a simplified demonstration where there is only one frequency, like one nice simple sine wave here. In the real world, if we're doing NVH, there would be a whole bunch of things at different frequencies that would all kind of interact, sine waves that would overlap, that would interfere, and they wouldn't even look like a sine wave any longer, right? So in the time domain, it would be a whole soup, a whole mess, and we'd never be able to make anything out of it. But in FFT, we would end up with a whole slew of peaks, right? At the different frequencies. Let's say you'd have a peak that you could associate with the frequency of the wheels in your test drive. You'd also have another peak that you could associate with the frequency or the RPM of the drive shaft, and maybe yet another one that you could associate with the engine RPM, right? That's the power of using the frequency domain. And HScope allows us to do that with that WIT accelerometer. So in the real world NVH test drive, we'd like to be able to affix this in a strategic location, like most likely on the undercarriage. And there are no real provisions to affix that. And it would be subjected to the elements, right? And maybe this exposed USB, that's kind of vulnerable. I got a solution for this. Okay, so check this out. See, soft TPU material, magnets on the bottom. It's a shoe. And when the WIT is inserted with the USB going in first, then it kind of seals it and protects the USB from the elements. The power button is always accessible, all right? And it can be held by magnet under a vehicle frame on test drives, etc. Comes out of here easily. And if inserted this way, then the USB is accessible for charging. I use these small neodymium magnets. They are 20 millimeter by 10 millimeter by 3 millimeters thick. The shoe is printed with this surface on the bed. And having these narrow magnets allows us to print without using supports, which would be murder to remove on TPU. And the magnets were secured with my most favorite epoxy, this JB Weld plastic bonder. The WIT accelerometer can be sourced from many sites on the internet. And if you wanted to have HScope support, you could purchase a license for it thereafter. Or the no-brainer is to order it from Martin Loren's store at a competitive pricing, and it includes HScope support. So there's a link to Martin Loren's store in the description. And tax season is right around the corner. Whether you purchase any of that stuff from Martin will not change my income tax bracket. You'll also find a link to the STL file if you wish to print this shoe. So help the channel out. Big thumbs up, guys. And see you in the next video.